Hello, and welcome to the House Design Story. Today, let me take you on a journey, one that begins with a dream, very small budget, and a big question. Is it really possible to build a house with just $10,000? At first, that number feels almost laughable, but $10,000 might buy you a used car, a few months of rent in a busy city, or maybe just the kitchen of your dreams. But an entire house? It sounds impossible. And yet I want to tell you the story of a young couple who proved that with creativity, persistence, and a little help from their community, it was possible. They were just like many of us, working hard, saving a little each month, and dreaming about having a place to truly call their own. After years of saving, they had exactly $10,000, not a cent more. They knew it wasn't much, but instead of being discouraged, they treated it like a challenge. How can we turn this small amount into a real home? The first step was land. In the city, prices were far beyond their reach. But outside town, in a quieter area surrounded by fields and trees, they found a small plot. It wasn't fancy, just a rectangle of soil with wild grass growing over it, but it was theirs for $3,000. With that purchase, the dream felt real for the first time. They had land, they had a starting point, and now they had $7,000 left to build. They knew from the beginning that the house had to be simple. No complicated designs, no unnecessary details. Just a small, strong place to live. They sketched out a plan for a 36 square meter house, about 387 square feet. Imagine one open living area, a tiny kitchen tucked in the corner, a bathroom, and one bedroom. Small, yes, but it was enough. The biggest challenge was materials. If they had gone to a regular supplier and bought everything new, their budget would have been gone in an instant. So, they started thinking differently. Instead of expensive bricks, they discovered compressed earth blocks made locally at a fraction of the cost. For the roof, they didn't pour heavy concrete. Instead, they built a lightweight steel frame covered with insulated metal sheets, cheap but durable. Windows came from an unexpected place, an old building demolition site, where they found discarded frames and glass panels that only needed a little repair. Piece by piece, they gathered what they needed, always balancing between cost and durability. But buying materials was only half the story. Labor was the other. Hiring professionals for every step would have eaten the budget alive. So, they decided to do much of it themselves. Neither of them had ever built a house before, but they learned. They watched YouTube videos on how to lay bricks, how to mix cement, how to wire a simple electrical system. It was slow, sometimes frustrating, but also empowering. Every weekend, family and friends would come over to help. Some brought tools, others brought food, and together they turned construction into a kind of gathering. Children played in the yard while adults worked side by side, building walls, lifting beams, painting surfaces. It wasn't perfect. The walls weren't perfectly straight. And the paint sometimes dripped, but every corner carried a story, every nail carried meaning. As the house slowly rose from the ground, the couple carefully tracked their expenses. The foundation and structure cost them about $2,500. The roof was $1,200. Walls and recycled windows came to another $1,000. Plumbing and electrical, $1,200. And finally, they spent the last $1,000 on finishing touches, paint, a basic kitchen counter, and a simple bathroom setup. By the time they added it all up, the total stood at $9,900, just $100 shy of their $10,000 limit. When the final wall was painted and the last window installed, they stepped back and looked at their creation. It wasn't large, it wasn't luxurious, but it was theirs. 4 walls and a roof, built with their own hands, their family's support, and a dream that refused to die. The first night they slept inside, they didn't even have proper furniture yet. Just a mattress on the floor, a single light bulb hanging from the ceiling, and the sound of the night wind moving through the trees outside. But it was enough. They had a home. What's the lesson in this story? First, that a house doesn't need to be big or perfect to be meaningful. Starting small is often the smartest way forward. Second, creativity is more powerful than money. Using recycled materials, making things by hand, and rethinking what a home truly needs can save thousands. Third, community matters. A house built with the hands of friends and family carries more than bricks and mortar. It carries memories, laughter, and love. So yes, you can build a house with $10,000. Not a palace, not a mansion, but a safe, comfortable home filled with stories. And sometimes that's worth more than luxury ever could be. Thank you for listening to today's house design story. I hope this inspires you to think differently about homes. It's about dreams and about what's truly possible when you combine creativity with determination. Until next time, remember, the best houses aren't always the biggest, but the ones built with love.